be completely honest, all I can focus on is how the entire house smells like barbecue ribs. Things get a bit chaotic in my days. I just kind of recollect and rebuild a routine and felt that it would be a good idea to share it with y'all. Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Inshallah, my YouTube family is doing all right. I think I saw that someone is currently taking 21 hours. So I'm making dua for you along with everyone else who has exams. Maybe you guys can share some ideas with me that I could give a try and we just bounce back off of one another. It's never too late to get back in order because you're in a similar place that I'm in this semester. Just submit, and just staying afloat. So alhamdulillah, just like, I'm gonna applaud us for just being here. Let's just acknowledge that. It's not easy just to jump from being overwhelmed and all over the place to being super diligent and structured. I do tend to be super extreme and both ends of the spectrum. I'm either all over the place or I'm like military. It's just more of how I can make small little quirks and changes here and there throughout my day, but have it planned out to where I'm actually initiating a healthy change and creating habits again that I've lost over time and compromised during this chaotic semester of mine. So keep that in mind. I'm not gonna go too far in depth, and if you would like me to do that in a later video, make sure to leave that in the comments below. Keep in mind, not mapping it out and giving yourself something physical to work towards, not doing so is just gonna give you more room to feel like you're failing. I write the same thing every time. And if I fall out of it, it's okay. Guess what? I'm just gonna come jump back on. It's easier said than done sometimes, but I'm gonna be forgiving of myself because Allah's the most forgiving. I'm gonna be forgiving of myself. And this sense of perfection, which I have a bad habit of falling into, perfection is saved for Allah. So with that being said, here's the video of 5 ways I get back into my routine. All right, here we go. First change is my morning wake up routine. And as soon as I wake up, first thing I do is fix my bed. When I fix my bed, I've also always trained myself that as soon as my bed is fixed, I can't go back into it. And you really can't. If you're fixing it up nice, it makes it easy not to sneak back in. Another thing in my morning routine is a while back, years and years ago, in a lot darker of a time in my life, I needed to develop, and I was working really hard spiritually to develop a sense of self-value, respect, self-love. And my way of doing that, or a part of it, was I had this mirror, and I have one here right now, so I'm gonna do that here soon. I would write words of affirmation on my mirror and I would read it every morning when I woke up, anytime that I walked by it, before I went to pray, after I went to pray. It was just something that and I kept it on there until I believed it. We see a lot of inspirational things on social media. We save, it basically goes away at that point. Writing it down, saving it, or putting it on your mirror, really, it sounds so cheesy. If you refuse to erase it until you truly in your heart believe it, that works. I wrote a lot of Islamic quotes or dua. I actually think that those words of affirmation might have inspired a lot of my poetry that I have on my social media. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Another thing that I do, which is like this military inspiration, an extremely cold shower in the morning, and that wakes you up. I'm not doing it to de-stress and relax. I'm doing it to start my day. If you are still kind of dragging, I guarantee will wake you up. Second way to get back into routine is my meal routine. What changes am I gonna make there? And remember, this is a very general list because it's not realistic to go from chaos to extremely structured. So what are small little things? And I know some people have a lot more of a sweet tooth. I wouldn't go so drastic as to just cutting out everything. no soda. I don't drink soda just to have soda. It's just, I'm pairing it with my meals. But it adds up when you have it every day. And if I need to, just because it's been such a habit for a while, I'll drink juice. I'm telling myself for now, the first initial thing that I'm gonna do is just not have carbonated soda. And from there, cut down my juice. We're not eating right. It just doesn't feel good. And our mind, body, and spirit is really connected. And if we're physically not feeling at best, then everything else is going to decline in the same manner. Also, it doesn't have to be every day of the week. All of these things don't have to be every day of the week. Even if you do 3 out of the 7 days, like, alhamdulillah, that's still a form of improvement, and you're going towards the right direction. So that's my way of looking at things. Another thing is timing my meals. We're so caught up with studying these crazy hours and overnight where we actually forget to eat. I need to schedule and not wait till I'm absolutely starving and then stuff my face. Preparing snacks. If you're a muncher like me, the reason why it's important for me to time my meals is because most of us eat really bad foods because of how quick it is, it's convenient, and we wait till we're absolutely starving because of missing meals and not eating at a consistent time, to where we'll just grab what's quick. And it takes longer to prep healthy food than it does to just grab a quick chocolate bar or a bag of chips. I like to make little, like, 1 slice peanut butter and banana bread sandwiches, and I fold it up like single slices, and then I'll make like 4 of them, and I'll eat like 1 or 2 between meals, and that typically fills me up. I have a really basic appetite just because I'm allergic to a lot of I have a lot of food allergies. That's a whole other video. I'm gonna be doing meal prep, but I'm gonna be doing for myself. I'm not gonna preach that to anyone because it's not really easy or realistic for many people's schedule. But again, if you guys are interested in a video on like how I meal prep or what works with my schedule, let me know in the comments below. Next thing that I am planning out and structuring in order to get back into my routine is my physical activity. What am I gonna do? So for me, out of fitness and nutrition, my strength is more of the fitness. I can be a lot more disciplined and structured with working out more than nutrition. I can eat clean. Again, like my extreme nature, I'll meal prep and do all that, but I'm also about the suburban life, so it's very easy for me to eat not so well. Working out, I really enjoy. That's always been a therapy. It's been very difficult for me that I haven't been able to go to the gym because of the pandemic, and my state chooses to be extremely lax about the mandates. I have decided, in trying to make this a very easy transition for ourselves when it comes to physical activity, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I walk Zuzu, my dog, like 3-4 times a day. So I do get some physical activity, but it's not working out. And my brothers did have like a home setup in the garage. It's just a matter of me doing it. So for myself, it's really important. Stretches, mobility. I don't want to hurt myself when I've taken such a big break in working out. Any breaks that I have within my studying, I'm going to do my stretches and just even air squats, lunges, things like that. I'm going to add that in my morning routine, to where even if it's just like 20 quick squats and some lunges, like I said, and just stretching. Stretching is just always good to do. I'm gonna do yoga, good for my anxiety and the fact that I can be really tense. Sometimes we can all be really tense when we spend hours studying. I worked corporate. I mean, it's all like the muscles here, right? And it takes a really long time for me to wind down when I come home from work. I didn't realize for a really long time that even when I'm just sitting on the couch and my mind is busy, I don't realize that I naturally tense up. And to where it becomes my natural state is just basically a body clench. So yoga helps me loosen that up and really more than anything help with breathing. If you are just not working out at all, with everything that we're doing on this list, at least three days in the week. Just telling yourself that you're gonna commit to 3 days. I mean, you should have just general physical activity every day, even if it's just a walk after your meals. For actual exercise, for me, because I've spent a few weeks not working out, I'm telling myself that I need at least 3 days a week of like workout with weights. And if I can get those 3 days a week, then I'm good. And typically for me, once I get a feel of those 3 days, I'm right back into it. If you're at 0, doing just air squats, lunges throughout the day, and even making a game of it, every time you walk by the kitchen, you're gonna do 10 squats. Something like that. Or making sure you go walk around the neighborhood every time you have a meal. Or every time that you're taking a phone call. If you're someone who likes to talk on the phone, I don't know if y'all can tell, I just got like super tired as I'm talking about physical activity. Womp womp. So number 4 is setting out and structuring alone time, family time, friends time, creating that routine. And it sounds very unnatural to do, but it is super important that you are able to make sure that you are providing yourself enough alone time. And by alone time, I don't mean on your phone, on social media, or anything like that. I mean, Netflix is good because that's not you communicating with anyone. Prayer is alone time. That's between you and Allah, and where you feel most centered. Inshallah. Sitting down after prayer and doing dhikr, sunnah, praying sunnah. All these are moments that you're of quietness and solitude that you're giving to yourself and allowing your mind to just slow down, recenter, and just exist where you are at that moment. That quietness, that time of reflection is really important, especially with the pandemic. Family time and alone time can really just all mesh into one, and that can cause just as much fluster. Just on the other side of that too, if you're spending too much time alone, even within our faith, it's just something important is to connect with our family. Make sure that you're respectfully giving enough time to your parents, especially. For example, get annoyed that your mom or dad might be asking you to make tea for them. I know that's just a very #immigrant family life thing to do, but it doesn't hurt that if you have the time to make tea for your parents, like why not sit with them and enjoy it with them? It won't be a task for you to do. It'll be an intimate time that you don't know if you'll have forever. Sitting in your room for hours studying, and you're going to the kitchen to get something to eat, for example, and your mom or dad watching TV, just even sitting them, even if you're not interested in what they're watching, asking them, hey, what are you watching? You know, having that 2-minute conversation with them, or asking that one question, that it can be something that small can make a difference of you just having some form of connection with them. And inshallah can grow if you don't have that relationship to hanging out. Or, you know, we're used to our parents asking us how we're doing, how our school is. When they come home from work, ask your dad how his work was. Ask him how his day was. You should be of age enough to be able to say, hey, how's your day, Baba? How's your day, Mama? How was work? That sucks. Really? That's exciting. It's that simple sometimes, guys. With your siblings as well. So that connection, or saying, hey, let's all go take a walk, you know, after dinner together, or going out for ice cream, hanging out, making sure you just have some, I know there's still a lot of restrictions with the pandemic, but just really, it can be so simple. I'm just giving very, very small, simple examples because I know we're all busy with school. So that's why they're very minor changes and reminders that you can do throughout your day. And even with friends, just checking in. But it's also important to make sure that you set boundaries, and that they know that when you say you're studying, and that you would appreciate that encouragement and support, and them not distracting you sometimes is a form of support. So that's something that I keep in mind as well, making sure that I'm balanced in all of those things. And if I have disappeared for a while, making sure that I check in on people when I can. Last but not least, the fifth thing that I change and adjust in my day is my sleep evening routine. It's so bad. I'm a night owl. It's Ramadan all year for me and this house. I said about my morning routine, those showers in the morning are literally just in order for me to put my body in shock and wake myself up. My showers at night are to wind down and to fully, when I used to work in the airlines, and I would be so stressed and uptight, and I would always tell myself and visualize and like imagine like that when I'm going to shower, that I'm literally washing off the airport. Some people like to put essential oil, just making sure that you wind down, being aware of your body and trying to tell yourself that I'm gonna take a shower and I'm going to relax. Like I'm gonna allow my muscles to relax and not be so tense. If it's studying, for example, I'm gonna wash off everything that, well, I don't wanna forget the information that I studied, but the stress. I'm gonna wash off the stress and the tension that I have, and really kind of that hour leading up to my sleep, just already go in with the mindset that I'm preparing to fall into a deep sleep, inshallah. And that's also where I start making sure to like start dimming the lights, having like just little accent lights on, and trying to kind of let my body prepare and feel that it is the evening time where we are set up to naturally go to bed. Making sure that my space is clean before I go to bed. The way you go to sleep is how you're gonna wake up. It allows me to have that morning routine where I just have to fix my bed and read my words of affirmation on the mirror. If there's something that's just keeps sitting in your thoughts and just lingering, and you're like, dang it, I have to do this, I have to get this done. Once you physically write it out, it doesn't belong to your mind anymore. It belongs to the Post-it that you know you're going to see when you wake up, and to where you're not gonna be able to forget. So when you allow your mind to breathe and relax and not be forced to remember something that's so important that you just remembered when you were laying down, it's just gonna make it a lot easier for you to rest, because it's been written down. You can erase it from here, and you don't have to worry about that panicked feeling you'll have the next day because you're gonna forget. So that is something, listing out the things that I have to do the following day really does allow for me to fully say, okay, alhamdulillah, I had a successful day. Even if I got one thing done that I didn't have the day completed the day before, I'm thankful. If I got one chapter in out of the 10 chapters, I am one chapter closer to getting what I need done, inshallah. And so it's all been mapped out. I know what I'm gonna do. And the last thing that I would need to do to fully have that peaceful night's rest is pray. Isha prayer, guys, is, it's so comforting for the soul. It allows you to remember that we are here for a bigger purpose. It humbles me and reminds me of what our true mission is here in the dunya, that we don't need to be so attached to things, and that although I am going to put in my full effort for school and everything, it reminds me too that there is a part of me that still has to release it and surrender it to Allah. I want to be the best form of myself, not the perfect form of myself. Perfection is saved for Allah. And when I pray before I go to bed, it allows me to remember these things and really just go even further into that night's rest to have a fruitful and inshallah successful day to follow. Those would be my 5 ways that I am planning on getting back into routine and having a structured, disciplined semester in order to get out of this mid-semester slump. I know we have so much going on, guys. I really am proud of you for hanging in there and just staying afloat. I know a lot of you have a lot of exams, midterms coming up. Just pray that inshallah ya Rab, Allah protects and encourages our path to great successes. I'm praying for all of you. You're all in my dua, and we got this. Okay? Until next time, y'all. Assalamu alaikum. I'm not in the mood to, 1. And too much of something isn't good. So unicorn pillow fell, and that just scared me.